Welcome, Capricorn, to your love reading for October 2018. So as I'm shuffling the cards, the Queen of Wands popped out in reverse, and this is a person that's been coming out for you a few different times. So fire sign, Aries, Leo, Sagittarius. It could be anybody, moon sign, rising sign, or ascendant. But they affect you on in a physical way. They could affect you in a physical way through sexual interaction, through sexual manipulation. Infidelity, cheating, flirting, doing different things that is disrespectful to a committed relationship or a marriage partner. So they might be someone from your past or someone that you might be currently dealing with, male or female. It just depends there. So we'll look into this further though. Messages for Capricorn for October 2018. So, again, so it's frustration which pulls you apart. Is maybe when that person gets angry or you get angry, there might be a temptation to disconnect, and maybe there are money issues that might be addressed at times, and somebody calling out, not really going in. They work, they say they're going to work, and then they don't do it. Different things like that might be obstacles, and then having troubles with moving on from that particular person might be difficult for you. All right, so let's see messages for Capricorn for October 2018. Over energy, neutral, person coming towards you, your response advice outcome. Okay. Okay, so both of you are not communicating, and that's usually not telling the truth, not letting somebody know how you might be feeling. So keeping a distance or severing a tie with somebody because of manipulation or emotional or physical abuse at times. So I feel like this is a card of dishonesty and not really being able to clear the air or really move forward in some way. Even if you have, it's like you're maybe that's the best defense, to state your boundaries when it comes to somebody that you might be around. And the person coming towards you, they might be stressed of something that you may have done, something that they may have done as well, and they're holding on to it, maybe a grudge or just a disappointment, something that has maybe they're married for some, and maybe you might be married as well, and that person wants you to communicate, but you're not opening up. You want them to communicate, but they're not opening up because they're married. It just depends there. So it's a card of stress, I feel, for a lot. Your response is you might that might be the issue, that someone else is in your energy with that particular person, but you might not be really passionate any longer from the way that you have been treated by them, their response and what they have been doing. So again, passion is lost, communication not really there that much. Your advice, this tells you that either one of you might have issues with committing to your obligations, focusing on things that might keep a steady relationship going, or the fact that you constantly give into the games of somebody who could be very deceptive and dishonest, very destructive at times when it comes to emotional stability. So someone that you might be dealing with, it could be a father of your child, or some of you might be rejecting being a father or mother of your child. So this tells you to try to gain some kind of stability, be stronger for yourself, and be determined that you're not going to allow certain things, past lessons and growth to kind of pass you by, and appreciate what you might be going through now, because it's all part of the process. So maybe remove yourself from whoever that might be. We mentioned fire sign, Aries, Leo, Sagittarius. That's an Aries showing up there, so they might affect you in some way. All right, the outcome. Yeah. What did I do just before then? I'm not exactly sure who that was. Scorpio. I did Scorpio, and they had this as well, where someone is not really communicating. We've had their back turned towards you. You're turning your back on somebody. There's a lot of confusion, and sometimes when someone is not letting you know what's going on, it causes a lot of stress. So clarify the Ace of Swords in reverse for Capricorn. Mutual energy between both. Dishonesty. Not being straightforward. Seven of Swords. Yeah, and I feel like that's it's the best way to either protect themselves or to protect you from some kind of emotional disappointment, where you might feel like you feel something is off, like you don't trust somebody, but you don't really express yourself because you might not want that person to leave. For some of you, you might be feeling that way. Clarify the Ten of Wands for the person that you might be dealing with. Yeah, that person might be even working a lot. Maybe that's something that you might have let them know, and some of you might not even really stated it to them. You might have kind of gave them hints, every now and then, and maybe they might be doing this before they are to get a divorce or disconnect from a marriage that they might be in. Clarify the Ace of Wands in reverse for Capricorn. Whoa, okay. So there does seem to be a relationship that's going on. Someone, you're reevaluating that, if it's going to last, if it's something that can last for some. And there's either you or somebody else indecisive about the connection and whether or not you should go through a divorce or connect with somebody, but you're not sure what you want to do because they're not even sure. Pray about the High Priestess in reverse for Capricorn. Again, this came out for Scorpio as well. So focusing on money, I feel like that's part of what needs to happen right now. Leadership, trying to do something different from what you've been doing before. It's kind of like testing the waters. What haven't you done previously that that didn't bring, well, it may have brought about the same kind of event, the way the person is behaving, or the way that they might be responding to you. So it's like, what else can I do to, maybe I need to just release myself from that person, let go completely and move on, and see if that can bring about a change for some. And let's see, one more card, clarify. The tension is there, and sometimes it's like when I see this and I see the surrounding cards, it's you feel you're angry with something and you're holding it inside, and you might not really express everything, like not putting it out there in the open. So you hold it in, and it's almost like I don't even really have to talk or express myself, or I don't need to talk to you. That's what you might be saying to somebody else, or they're saying it to you in some way. So it comes to very controlling. All right, clarify the Seven of Swords for Capricorn for October 2018. Yeah, indecisive about commitment. Yep. You feel like someone else is uncertain about you, so you're like, I'm uncertain about them too, kind of thing going on. And it's almost like someone wants to, they want to play a game with you, so to speak, and see how far they can get, and see how far they can go, how far you'll let them go before you say something or respond to them in some way. And I'm not sure if someone makes a mistake, and then every time they do that, they might give you something or do something for you to appease what's been going on. And children might be part of the equation as well. There's a lot of dishonesty when it comes to somebody that you might be dealing with, and to me, and until things are cleared up, I feel like you might have to have the approach of not continuing to communicate with somebody who's not being honest when it comes to communication, or not really saying anything back, because it's going to lead to nowhere. And that's part of maybe the obstacle, and part of you allowing someone to get away with robbery, right, so to speak, right? So let's see, cards from the Romance Angels for Capricorn. For same thing came through with Scorpio. As somebody that's not, if you're not speaking or willing to speak, or the other person is not willing to speak, it's like, what else can you do but disconnect until that person is telling you the truth of where they stand and what they want to do. Messages for Capricorn, October 2018. Engagement and your love life is ascending to a higher level of commitment. Now, that's part of maybe the test that you might be going through for some. And if that's the case, now for some where you are not communicating to someone that you might be around, because there is a marriage or relationship that might be there, and the person that you are waiting for or trying to connect with in some way, again, they might be working on financial matters, but you really don't know all of what's going on with them because they're not letting you know. So that could be part of the equation here for some of you out there, and you might be really trying to do your best to get them to be honest with you. And then you have, it's safe for you to love. It says, open your heart to give and receive the highest energy of all. So if that's going to happen, if that's going to manifest in your life, I feel for a lot of you, you might need to face what you're facing right now when it comes to obstacles or the conflict that you might be going through with that person. But it does push them to make the necessary changes. It's like a process, of evolution. When it comes to that person, maybe them being with you or going through what they go through with you, they are becoming maybe a better version of themselves as they kind of go through the ups and downs with you in a relationship. They might be learning from you as you're learning from them, and it is a process though. And I feel like just because you state something and then you like shut down, it doesn't mean that person didn't take it in. It's just you have to allow some time to go by in order for you to see the evidence of that, what has happened or what you have said for some. All right, that's what I get when I pick this up. So I hope that messages did help you out in some way. Lots of love to you, lots of light, tons of healing vibes. I do wish you the best, and you can always go to the website psychicloveheals.com for private or personal readings. All right, so have a good one.